Rico Rodriguez as Manny.
How could you not love that face? It's quirky. It's weird. It's like just a weird character. We talked a lot about Manny. For a while, Manny was going to have Asperger's, because that was a subject that I was really fascinated by. I had a good friend with a son with Asperger's, and the kid was always doing frustrating, hilarious, endearing, amazing, surprising things. And I went, who better to frustrate Jay? And we played around with that for a long time, and the fear was it got too serious, that it would be tough going down the line. And then we stumbled upon the notion of Manny as a 12-year-old Antonio Banderas. Manny is a lover, and when we would pitch him, we would sit around, because we'd pitch in voice when we're trying to come up with jokes or whatever, and we would sit around and say, why can't I take an over? Why can't I pursue her? You took an older lover, and he would speak like a romantic from times long gone by, and that's loosely came from Chris's son, who, when he was about 8 years old, for Christmas asked for a burgundy smoking jacket. So we liked that idea we wanted a kid who was a challenge to Jay in a different way that Mitchell had been a challenge to Jay. So we didn't want him to be gay, but we wanted him to be just as frustrating to Jay, and so this was a good combination. I will say this about Rico: we didn't know if he could handle it after the pilot. We're like, I don't know how good of an actor he is. We couldn't understand half the things he said in the pilot. He was so young, and I said to his mom, once we got picked up, I said, please do me a favor, send him to diction classes over the break. Much to his mom's credit, I love her. She's great. She did, and the kid came back like a different actor. He was had self-confidence. I could understand everything he said. He was always on the money. It was an amazing transformation. He blew me away.
Oh. Sarah Hyland as Kaylee.
We were down to 2 Haleys. I don't know what it was. She just looked believable to me. You'd stick that BlackBerry in her hand, and she became my daughter. And plus those eyes, they're so expressive, and she's adorable. And we shot a scene with her with Ty at my house for that screen test, and in our kitchen, and she's so real. There's not a fake moment in her performance. I find it just rings true. I never hear anything but that. She is exactly my daughter right now, and she is so under the radar. She comes in here, she's always tired, and she's, walks in and she's drinking gigantic iced teas at 8 in the morning, and this and this, and then action, and perfect. It's perfect. You wouldn't change a thing. And then cut. It's crazy.
Ariel Winter as Alex?
Yeah. I don't know what it was. She just had that quality. Ariel is the person who I would say, I pulled her aside at the end of last season, and I said, I took her to my office and I said, I just have to tell you how proud I am of you. Because in the beginning she was a little bit undisciplined, and she would chime in with things and like ad libs and stuff like that, and da da da. Anyway, she is, to me, she's grown so much in this role. Like I think she's now such a force to be reckoned with. She plays that part very authentically, and she is dead on. You write the most complicated speech in the world every time. She's perfect, and it feels real, and she is. I just think she's growing leaps and bounds as a person, which is a wonderful thing. Because one of the reasons that we didn't want to do this show is working with kids. It's tough. It can be tricky. We all know the stories of the child actors who get screwed up by this. They don't have real childhoods, etc. So we didn't want to do that. We've gotten very lucky with the people that we've hired. They've exceeded all our expectations. They can deliver the jokes as well as any adult. We can count on them 100%. But what I'm very proud of is that these are kids who are, unlike on some shows, like if you're on, a big wacky Disney Channel show, where, in my opinion, quite often these kids are learning bad habits of how acting habits and that are going to be hard to break. I think these kids are learning from the best. And they're in an atmosphere that is full of love, and people care about them like they are their own children. I feel that responsibility toward them. Chris does. Julie Bowen and Ty feel that way about their kids in that show. Ed O'Neill and Sophia feel that way about Manny. Eric and Jesse feel that way about the Lilies that we've had, and now Aubrey. I don't know what it is. We feel, and I feel like the kids are going to come out of Modern Family and it'll be a positive experience in their lives and not one that will screw them up forever and cause them to rob liquor stores.
One more kid, Nolan Gould.
Yeah, the surprise of the show in a lot of ways for us, the way he just kind of came in, didn't know what he had. He was a wild card. We just thought he was just kind of funny, quirky, weird kid. Is brilliant, is smarter than, maybe the smartest person on this stage might be Nolan Gould. He is a genius, a real genius, like Mensa, IQ genius. He can do anything. He plays instruments. You are talking to an adult when you are talking to Nolan. He's, what is he, 13 now? 13, 14. He's at grade level 5 grades ahead of him. He's a brilliant kid who I think I will be working for someday. I hope. I hope he will hire me someday because he will be running this town. But as funny as it gets, and as often some of his funniest moments have been things that he came up with.